Hi, I'm Mark.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Ben, and welcome to Through the Garden Gate.
It's Tuesday night. It's 7:30. It's time for Through the Garden Gate. Get the boys in. Good evening, Garden Grand Ball. Hello, everyone.
Mate!
Yeah. Check you out.
Can you...
Lines.
Oh, mate. Can you hear me all right with these on?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear?
Perfect. Yeah, and I can see you.
That's always a good start.
Yeah, I'm literally just making sure because it's raining like hell, so I didn't want you to hear all the rain in the background.
Where's Jamie then?
He's in.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah, Nat got me all that for my birthday this week.
Oh, cool.
It's cool, isn't it?
Have you had to put it backwards like I did, because otherwise it's the wrong way now.
I was out here for about an hour earlier setting it all up, so we've got proper light and everything in here now.
Professional recording in the studio.
You wait till you see it later. I'm going to share something later. It's got to be
Will be amazing. All of the gear. Proper professional.
I've got all the gear and no idea.
Why's Jamie not coming in?
Hi, Rachel.
We've invited you, Jamie. Don't have tech issues tonight.
Not on my end for once.
I mean, typical. I've put that. Well, the podcast that goes live tomorrow is the one where we had all the technical issues.
Which one? Is it the one I did from my garden, or was that's been released? Isn't it, that one?
Where we had to do it separately because it just wouldn't let anybody on.
It's such a nightmare.
Just hear the rain in the background.
Just about. It's hammering down. I thought for that easy, it's going to be a nightmare.
Oh, there he is.
He's just turned on video, apparently.
No, I haven't just turned on video. I went out and come back in again and it worked.
Let's hope we can get our guest in.
You're looking
I can't see Jamie.
Look at that for a hair chop.
Oh, mate. Looking smooth, man. I can't see you though, bro.
What's he got on?
You thought he'd have had the writing backwards when you're ready for this.
You haven't mentioned that at all week.
Keeping it stum for tonight.
Yeah.
My
Stand
wife
up again.
shared it. Why haven't you shared it on Instagram?
Stand up.
For that.
Look at that.
Someone's ready for the press event.
Wait till you see the back of it.
Oh my God.
Go on, then.
That's
Give us a twirl.
that's the official start of merch, isn't it?
Look at that.
I don't know.
Oh, mate.
Will it work?
Look at that.
Does it work, Mark?
Yeah, takes you to our Instagram.
Does it? Bloody hell, brilliant.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Catherine says I need some letters up here on my mirror through the garden gate.
Yeah, you're letting the side down now.
Oh. Next week, I'll print it out.
Get Cass.
No expense spared.
That won't be back. That won't be backwards though. Oh, bloody hell! That's absolutely hammering it down here. Is it raining where you
It's
are?
stopped.
Yeah.
Raining all day.
It's only been raining for about an hour, but it is absolutely hammering down. Terrible.
Yeah, hideous day.
Everything was just starting to dry out lovely, and you think, oh, it's nice, and then all of a sudden,
You had the wind as well.
gone again. Yeah, been windy, really windy. Terrible.
My temporary roof stayed on though.
Yeah.
It's good.
You get your wood on.
Good.
I've always got wood on.
No, you passed 40, Ben. We know that's not true.
Yeah. Oh, I've got my stick on.
Did
No,
you
I
have
haven't.
a nice birthday, mate?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice. Nat wouldn't let me do a thing all day.
Too fucking true.
Nothing. It was better than Father's Day.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know. So every time I went to do something, I'll do it. It's your birthday. I'm like, you what? And obviously she got me these. I bloody love this. As soon as I saw the on-air one, I was like, right, can I get it to work if I flip it? And it does work backwards.
Flip what? So what have you flipped?
You got
But to flip,
the light.
all this has to be backwards. Otherwise, you get this. Is that backwards or not?
Yeah. Yes. I can't read it.
Whereas on
Yeah.
it's the wrong way.
Look at my merch.
I can't see you, mate.
You can.
I can't.
Can't ya?
Thank you, Ben.
Can't see you tonight. Hi, Steph. Yeah.
Hello, Steph.
I'll better hide that from Steph. She'll kick me in the head.
Right.
What are you hiding?
Steph's not impressed with my loofahs.
Special loofah seeds from the river.
I ain't got it. I ain't got any loofah seeds.
Yours not turned up yet?
I ain't no nothing.
You've seen the state of my pack.
I did see the state of your packet.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Be hanging out the hole in it.
Lucky
Just
the
as
packet.
well, 'cause it's only a small pack anyway.
Like Jesus. Rip that a bit more, and I'd have had no loofahs. I'd have just had an empty envelope.
Oh, so
So the postman's obviously seen how good they are, Nick.
Yeah.
so Kim just said you sent her mine, Ben. Thanks ever so much.
I must have done.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, flashing me loofah about.
Yeah. So I had, right, normally, you two don't really know this is in the background, but I normally have a few things that I can relate back to. But so when I printed tonight's one, it came out as Nikki's one from last week. Come out of the printer tonight. What?
But you're glad you noticed. I guess they'll be like,
I didn't work with the naked gardeners. What are you on about?
what are you on about?
No, maybe you
King.
want to. So I've got a very, very limited. Yeah, very limited. There's a few bits on there, but it sounds like our guest might be able to just breeze us through.
I'll do my intro and we'll get him in if we can.
Yeah, go on then. I've seen him.
So
Yeah.
tonight's guest is a writer, a chicken owner. He has a PhD in physics, a homestead owner, growing his own food for health benefits, a vlogger, a Garden Media Guild Award winner in 2023, software engineer, a no digger, product tester, a man, a human, a gardener, a scientific gardener, a YouTuber, an Instagrammer, and he's got all the kit. It is, of course, Alex Smith. Alex grows food. Yeah.
Alex grows food.
This is where you're fetching my towel. There we are.
There's
Hello.
Alex.
That's my soundproofing equipment. It's very high tech. I'm going to show you all again. Look at that. Nice old 10-year-old towel.
Nice.
What if they had all the kit? I didn't mean it. How you guys doing?
Hey, Alex, you right?
Yeah, not too bad. Let me just sort my volume out a bit. It's lovely and rainy here as well. So it's all a bit slick. I had to go put the chicken away. And yeah, no, I didn't fancy that one.
I just had to. I came in here. This is our little back bedroom stroke office stroke everything. But this is where I do everything when I'm indoors. And then I thought, oh, I'll just go in. And my tripod wasn't here, so I had to run out to the greenhouse. Oh God, I'm gonna get rained. I was in the greenhouse on Sunday, and I went, oh bugger! But yeah, I got it now. Hmm.
The last 10 minutes running around looking for the mobile adapter for this tripod. I've not used that since I bought the darn thing, and yeah, that was a well, dust as well as water. So that's what I'm going to say.
No,
I don't do much cleaning.
Normally, I let mine just run out of battery. Normally, that's an early exit. Right, I'm off. My battery's flat.
See, I was more
Whereabouts?
organised than anyone today, then.
Looks like it.
That's unusual.
You still can't see me, Ben.
No, it's a great loss, mate. I know what you look like. I can see everyone else.
Imprinted. It's imprinted on your memory.
Trauma.
You love it. What do you mean, Alex? Oh.
We all made content together. Well, not we haven't, but you have. And
First time I've met you, and you're already dissing me.
I like him already.
There's one word too. I wasn't even.
You wasn't even trying yet.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. Give it half an hour, yeah. Well, you might have just heard me, Alex.
Tea just to calm me down a bit. So I hope it'll be mellow by the end of the
You
hour.
won't need any of that to fall asleep on here.
We'll be dropping off.
As you probably heard, Alex, or saw that I printed lots of things about you, and Nicholas came out from last
Did
week.
mine come out?
Well, a little bit.
Okay, because I can't see mine, obviously. Yeah. Mine are digital.
Mark, did you print yours out?
No, they're all on the phone, but I'm watching you guys. So.
Exactly. Anyway, so Alex grows food.
Yeah, amazing. 2021, was it? I had an old Instagram account. I thought I'd turn around to taking pictures of food. I was in a small 6x6 meter garden. It was the second year of the pandemic, and I really got a taste that first year, just doing pumpkins and sunflowers, the basics really. But it was really hard to get food during that lockdown year, that first one. I think I couldn't get a food for about 6-7 weeks, something like that. I was in the middle of nowhere, as I was sort of. So I really got into the idea of what if I could just take these tubs of these moving boxes, these plastic ones, let's chuck a load of soil in it. It's probably food safe, and then grow some run of beans out of it. That was the idea. And then let's put some sweet corn in the ground as well, and let's do some more things. And it really kind of took off. I sort of kept doing it non-stop. It was kind of the only thing. It was my main hobby, really. And then I just took loads and loads of pictures of it, and that sort of ended up becoming the Instagram account, which then became the YouTube account eventually. When I moved to this bigger garden here, which is a nice farmer's cottage. I don't own it, but yeah, it's a nice 0.1 acres of no dig bed. So I was really ill when I had that 6x6 meter garden. I spent ages and ages in it, just tending to it, growing crops and stuff. And it was horrible in grain. It became this beautiful space that I spent all my time in, and then I moved here in end of February. Growing season is not that far away, so I had to very quickly turn that into a nice growing area. And then by the end of the summer, hundreds of kilograms of food. It was good, amazing. But when you've got a singular mission and you're not doing anything else, it's relatively easy, I guess. If I was working, which is another issue, that would be a different story.
Yeah. I think there's so many people on here, including me, that I class myself as a lockdown gardener. Started at lockdown. So many people you hear on here, don't you, say, "Oh yeah, I started lockdown," because same as everyone else, we didn't have nothing to do for.
It was
however long.
The one time where you really had free time, even though you couldn't do anything with it. You could go in the garden, and that's the only reason I wanted to do it. I think a couple of years before. Before I got my job, I was going, I really want to start a farm. That was on my 5-year plan for some reason. I was going to the job interview on the train. I remember going, I really want to do that. That was pretty concrete. But yeah, I didn't act on it until the lockdown. And the second year of lockdown at that, really. Yeah, it's remarkable.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah. So you say you want to start a farm?
That was a pipe dream, yeah. I wanted my cows, and I've got chickens, but I wanted, my own pigs and my own cows and my own veg.
Yeah.
And I wanted my own pub where to sell the food. That was sort of the pipe dream. It was such a lovely vision I had.
I think we've all had that at some point. It would be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah. Would be.
Well, I was moving out of Somerset, a lovely, gorgeous rolling countryside, to flat Cambridgeshire, going, I want to go back. And that was sort of and lots of walking around Somerset through pubs and things. So I think that's where it came from, wanting to go back instinctively.
So Somerset to Cambridgeshire. That's a
it was a big
hell
old
of a
move. Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 hours. I don't drive, so it was all trains as well. So it was a nightmare getting anything done.
Was that for
And,
work?
it was for a job. Yeah,
Yeah.
that software job. But very flat, very bleak, very windy, very very windy, and I wasn't quite prepared for that.
Whereabouts in Cambridge area?
Just outside of Cambridge to the west. It's far enough that you wouldn't want to walk it,
Right. Yeah.
which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
But, it's not too bad. I cycle everywhere, which is fun. I've just passed my test actually, so I'm now a driver.
Yeah. Congratulations, well done.
Really excited. 30 years old, and I finally got it. But for the last few years, I've been cycling everywhere, and I was moving house once, and I had some tomatoes to strap them on. I sowed some seeds 2 days before I moved house, and I just strapped them to the back of the bike and I cycled to the new house with them, and they got absolutely obliterated. The soil all compacted inside the propagator cells, and it all became little round balls, and I had to rescue all the seeds for the next couple of days. Best harvest I've ever had, but it's nice. I can drive now. Go to the garden centre and not try and not stack plants on top of each other. That kind of thing. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Having a car.
Make a difference. Yeah, but don't give up the bike. That's what we should all do. A bit of cycling, I think. But
Already started to have its impact, I think. But, when the spring comes, maybe. One-way system. Yeah, it's all the cyclists. As a cyclist myself, there are a lot of them around, and they have sort of like schools of fish on bikes, and getting around them is really difficult.
There's loads. Cambridge is mental, isn't it, for bicycles?
Yeah, and the actually is different as well. I think because there's so many of them, just the behaviour is different. And then the car driver's response to the bikes is kind of, what's the word? Where it's unreasonable. It's like instinctively aggressive almost. They've had enough. And it gets quite hostile at times. And so driving around that's been quite fun. It's quite an experience. It's a nervous thing to do. Cycling around Cambridge isn't the one. Anywhere else, I'd recommend it. But Cambridge, for some reason, it's a really scary place to do it.
Bristol's no better.
Big city, innit?
No,
big cities are no good for bikes.
Bristol's really, really hilly though. I wouldn't want to cycle in Bristol. I mean the western end of it.
I'm in the north, so everywhere's either downhill or uphill for me. So I look down, and then you obviously see the North Somerset Hills. It's like, I'll drive. I'm far too lazy for that.
The downhill bit's all right.
I went back to Bath after moving to Cambridge and cycling everywhere. I went back to Bath for a summer. And I tried to cycle up that hill up to the old university, and going from flat to being able to go up, I just couldn't do it. I had to get off. I could cycle 70 miles. That was really not an issue. That was my range. But uphill, couldn't do 10 yards.
Some of those ones in Bath are brutal.
Lovely though.
Yeah. Alex, tell us about your growing space at the minute then. Do you call it allotment? Do you call it a garden? What explain it to us.
It's funny, I've not really thought about it until I started doing media stuff really, but it's an old garden. It was mostly just lawn originally, and then I sort of call it a kitchen garden now. I've sort of turned it into, right now it's only 4 really allotment style beds, I guess. I'm not sure what the right length is. They're about 1.6 meters wide, 1.8 meters wide. The idea was I could reach into the middle perfectly halfway. Loads of moving boxes, did a no dig, and I brought in tons and tons and tons of compost and then turned them into no dig beds. So 4 sort of, I don't know, half size ones, and then 2 massive long ones down the east side. It's mostly south facing, but there's a set of trees just there, and they've grown a lot in the last couple of years. So actually most of my garden gets shaded now pretty early in the summer. But it's quite nice. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's a nice rifle range nearby. There's lots of military gunfire and artillery. There's a Spitfires flying over, and you get lots of dogs barking, and then the farm is. And it's good. It's very, very nice and peaceful. The M11's there as well, and it's good. When I moved here, I thought it'd be silent, and then I looked at the map and then realised my mistake.
Is that actually in your garden, and is it right next to the house? You haven't got to go away to the allotment. It's right next to the house.
Right there, yeah. So I rented the garden, and then the house came with it. That's all the way I approached this one. In 2022, I was basically ill for about a year at that point, and went, you know what? I'm not going to sit in this horrible terrace thing with a grey garden and didn't like my neighbours at the time. I'm going to go and move. I'm going to pay more than I can afford and enjoy it, basically. Don't know what this illness is. Let's just have fun. Set up a garden. And then I grew really intensely for that year. So was it 4 weeks, 6 weeks? I had my beds ready, bamboo up, ready to go. Ton of seeds, a ton of plants, and then plastic greenhouse sitting on a bit of concrete. And then there's an apple tree out there, which is nice appeal as well. A nice septic tank, which doesn't really shut properly, so it smells all the time. But other than that, it's delightful.
Fantastic. Normally, where there's a septic tank and the overflow is, the grass grows really well. Have you got a patch of grass that grows?
It took out my lawnmower. I had one of those old push ones, not the motorized, the human ones, and did me well in my nice little tiny garden. And then I spent about a week trying to do I hadn't been touched for about 6 months, and then got down to the bottom, and the plastic cut away almost like it bent it, and as it went round, it tore chunks out of it. So now I've got a lawnmower basically sitting in there. I need to sort it out. I bought an electric one in the end, but I have abandoned that spot. That's now the wild area because I just gave up. I just couldn't. It's all thatch and rubbish. I've deployed my chickens to try and clear it because I'd like to put some wildflowers or something down there, but it does smell. I feel bad for them, so I'm going to move them away from there now. I've realised that it might not be the best.
I was going to say, where are your chickens?
Yeah, they're down in the shady corner. They move around a lot. They're in one of those wheelie coops.
Okay.
But yeah, in the summer they're trying to be down on the south side to get some of the shade, and then in the winter I want to move them up towards the top really, but I haven't had time this year. Last year they were on my garden beds, and I thought I'm just going to let them do the fertilizing. I ran out of cardboard. I ran out of money for compost, so I thought I'll give the chickens some time to do that one properly. I just skipped on some areas, and there were weeds poking through, and it was an awful growing experience. It wasn't very no dig, half dig. I don't know what you want to call it really, but second year it was chickens, scratch these, toss and turn. Yeah, and poo.
How many chickens you got?
Right now is 4, 3 hens and a bantam something or other, tiny little thing. He squeaks. He doesn't crow. He squeaks. It's quite cute. But he also doesn't like the girls, and the girls don't like him. So he hides on top of the coop at night, and I have to go out and get him all winter, and then go, no, sorry, boy, you've got to go in. It's a lot of work.
Just ram him in that little room with all the girls.
Yeah. I thought he'd like it, but he's not into that sort of thing apparently. So yeah, I'm not buying another coop. So yeah, I just go out every night. But yeah, nights like not tonight. It's pretty awful. I don't know why it sits on top.
Have you got any of them bantams, Ben?
No. What have I got? Obviously my standard brown rescue. I've got a load of olive eggers and 2 Vorwerks.
Sweet.
It's got a right mix. I'll be getting some more soon.
You weren't going to build them up again. Oh yes.
Oh well.
All right. Okay, I know.
I'm going to get some more. My wife wants silkies, and I want death layers, so we're having both. Hopefully, we hatched a load of male silkies, and all my death layers are female.
Oh.
That's the plan. We'll be getting some more soon, real soon. And then we're going to hatch me. So.
Lovely.
It's nothing better than that. It's so cute when they come out. Those first couple of days, absolutely spectacular.
Awesome.
They're all manky for about an hour, and then they're cute for about 2 weeks, and then they're manky again, and then they get to about 12 weeks, and then they're nice again.
We hatched them about 2 years ago, And last year I didn't do it, and I absolutely missed it. So I'm watching everyone else hatch, and I'm just like, oh man, I want more. And I had 21 at the time, and I was like, I can't. There's no way I can hatch more this year. There's no way.
Where'd you put the little chicks? So I struggled. So I had them in here in a little puppy playpen with some hemp bedding, and it was all dusty and horrible and smelly. By about week 4, I couldn't stand the smell of poo anymore.
Yeah, we had the same. I built a massive brooder, and we basically made it into a coffee table in our lounge. And they were in there for a long time. Eventually, I thought it was going to be my wife kicking them out, and eventually I was like, I can't, no more. My daughter was young; she was in and out. I've got videos of my daughter getting in with them and pretending she's a chicken. It's just ridiculous. So eventually they came out, but I've got a setup on our allotment, and I've got a setup at home as well. So I can split them up and do whatever. It's quite a nice way to sort of split them around. Safe, but yeah.
You're sensibly in the spring then, I guess. I did mine in the winter, so I didn't want to put them outside when they were that big, I guess was the issue.
Yeah, my ones at home they've got a really good warm setup. It's this. I live in a terrace house, and sort of the walls are like that, and I've boxed it in around the house, so there's pretty windproof, and so it's not. To be honest, it's quite insulated. So, but they love it. They don't even sleep in their coop. They sleep on the perches, looking through the lounge window, watching the telly. Honestly, it's a standing joke. I think they love football because they see the green grass and the quality of it, and they just want it.
Or do they know?
Right. Love to let them have a go at a football pitch.
Alex, on my half a bit of paper I got here, it says you have a PhD in physics. What's that?
Yeah, it's a bit of a drunken night, and then one thing led to another. Yeah, I was really into maths and science growing up. That was my sort of, leaning, I don't say forte, but yeah, that's what I really put a lot of work into. And then, yeah, did a degree, got to my second year of my degree and went, do I want to keep doing? Started doing more student newspaper stuff, actually, and that kind of stuff, extracurricular things. Got to the end of my degree and went, I don't really want that job. Ended up doing a PhD in organic solar cells. So yeah, plastic polymer flexible solar cells, which is quite exciting. Also computer modelling, typing away all day in front of a computer. And then yeah, 4 years of that non-stop. It's really hard work. PhDs are weird because it's like being a student, but you're working for yourself. So you're like a self-employed student, not earning much. So, but the more you work, the better you get. So I was doing 90, 100-hour weeks, just whatever. Who cares? Just keep going. I worked every hour of the day. It's amazing. I really enjoyed it. It's fantastic. You're self-propelled. It's really quite. Yeah, it was a really interesting time. But yeah, then I got a job and lost that, and never really found that sort of love of anything again. Really, the problem really is that science doesn't pay much, and I really needed at that point. I really needed some money. So I sort of left science, and then once you're out, you're kind of out. You take a lot of time catching up again. It's quite difficult to get back in.
No.
So, yeah, not quite sure what's next. Really.
So you think you are on a gap year at the moment?
So
I'd love to have a gap year in my adult life. I thought only students, second year in uni have a gap year.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, Ben's on his 4th gap year.
Good man. That's the dream, though, right?
Hang on. Is my missus watching?
No,
we can carry on. We can carry on. Yeah, I'm on my 4th year of gap years.
Yes. So I Lord Almighty, I did my PhD, did a software engineering job, and then did a software job at a university, an old famous one that may or may not be not interchange so much. So a lot of blockages, a lot of friction, a lot of we don't do stuff, and I really got quite knackered. So last summer I was growing all my own food and sitting doing this software job, and I was so out of energy that all the food just rotted on the vine in places. I grew so much tomatoes. The year before, I must have grown, I don't know, 100 kilograms, maybe 80 kilograms of tomatoes. issue. I grew tons and tons, and they just never picked them. It's terrible. So yeah, I made this video about it, which was we'll talk about later maybe. But yeah, I didn't like it at all. And then I went, okay, I'm gonna quit. Maybe I'll find something else. And then I went, you know what? Don't fancy it. Really enjoyed this. I make lots of videos. I used lots of writing. So I thought I'm gonna spend a year. I'm just gonna take a year off and then figure out what I want. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't want to do software anymore. I did want to do a farm 5 years ago. I do a lot of gardening now. I'm leaving that question open. I don't want to put anything too concrete now. But yeah, I think I hate being. I think being trapped at your desk is the worst thing ever. That's what I've learned. If you're not doing something that actually you self-propel and you don't notice the day go by, then it's going to be really difficult to do forever. And yeah, I do enjoy plants, so maybe there's some wisdom there.
Need to find
Maybe.
you with it.
That's like me, though. I'm looking at when I go back to work, doing something within horticulture one way or another, even whether it's working in the garden centre, just do something that I like doing and around things that I like. Because I was a chef for 20 years, then I worked on a building site. And to be honest, what's the point? I've had 4 years where we've survived on one wage because of lockdown and everything else. When I didn't go back to work, we had our daughter as well and everything. So with all that, my wife went back to work and she's managed, bless her, to completely make everything happen on one wage. So like she said, when you go back into something you like, because chefing for 20 years was just brutal. And I was knackered. 18 and 20-hour days, 7 days a week. And it's just like, for what? I was earning less than my wash up and I was managing a hotel just outside Bath, funny enough. And you just look at it, it's, what's the point? So I'm going to do exactly the same. I've had a long time to think about what I want to do and still don't know what I want to do yet. But when I go back, I'm going to enjoy what I do. And if I don't like it, I'll just quit.
Yeah, so this is the thing. Once I realised that you could quit, like, that changed everything for me. So quitting that first software job to go to this job that was going to be, it was climate stuff, so it's going to be very impactful. That was the idea. Didn't have enough impact. So I quit, and that was sort of the thinking. And because I was ill for so long, I was really worried about the illness as well. I was like, well, time is short, and that's what I've come to sort of understand. Yeah, if you aren't spending your time well, then what's the point? Yeah, it's just not worth it. I almost applied for a part-time gardening job the other day, so it might happen.
Yeah, do it.
Why not? If you can do something you love, do it. I would love to do it, but I know I wouldn't be able to earn what we need, to stay as we are. That's the only thing. I know I couldn't. I'd love it. I'd love to, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
The rumours are true about Sparkies, aren't they? You see.
If I crack the whip a bit more on Teresa, she can earn a bit more, so I can not bother.
Mate, you're brave.
She's not watching.
Yeah, I'll tell her. But that's the thing, is like, obviously running your own business like you do, Jamie, it's bloody hard work. And you put all that effort into building a business up to just go, right, okay. And it's like we did when we had the hotel and that. We lived to our means. We had no bills. We paid a mobile phone bill. That was it, because we had lived in. And then once we left, it was like, whoa. Immense. Like, holy shit, we've even got to pay for the TV license. What do you mean? So everything was included when you run a hotel. Apart from the council tax, actually, we did have to pay that. But you live to your means, and it's hard when you sort of go, actually, nah, this ain't for me. It's bloody hard.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I always think about people who have hotels, cafes, and things like that all their shopping bills obviously go through the books, and all their food bills, and that so they don't have to pay for anything like that because it goes through the book.
It depends. Obviously, if you eat out the business, then that's one thing. But once you start doing everything else, those accountants are on you like a shot. But what do you mean your mobile phone's on business? You have a landline? Yeah, I do. And I need a mobile phone for when I'm not in the hotel and my staff actually need me. Oh, yeah. but there's loads of it. And I mean, I've seen so many managers. I worked for some guys, and they worked for Whitbread, and they used to put a tab through every week of all their drinks and put it through as promotions when I started doing the assistant manager's work. And they used to say, oh yeah, tab 28 goes for on promotions. I'm like, you cheeky buggers. Every time I thought you'd buy me a drink out of your own pocket, then all of a sudden I'm writing down a list. I'm like, that's how you do it. Mid.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Uh,
Alex, about what? Tell us about your writing then. Who do you write for?
So right now, I'm just sort of relaunching my blog. I used to write for magazines. I used to do freelance writing for tech stuff, so lots of electronics and things. But yeah, right now, no one just yet. Unless they'll have me. But yeah, right now it's just a blog. And so it's been a while since I've written anything proper, so I'm sort of retraining myself up, I guess, that way. But yeah, I used to run the student newspaper. I was pretty filling on. That was a lot of work. That was, but more laying up and stuff, designing the layout and stuff like that. And then yeah, the freelance writing was really kind of random. I was doing this talk for students just on how to measure a solar cell efficiency. You could build a device, and ended up talking to a guy who I met someone else about it, and he was like, "Oh, you can write this stuff." So yeah, it's a little bit how you know, really. It's kind of weird these little networks exist. If you know someone who happens to run a magazine,
Definitely the way.
and talk to them, they go, "Yeah, do you want to write for me?" They're always looking for writers and stuff. Yeah, so
Right time in the right place, isn't it?
yeah, basically.
But you do lots of videos.
I do a lot
I've
of videos. Yeah, not enough videos, but yeah, mostly videos.
Seen several. But yeah, tell us about some of them. Some of them are really interesting.
So one,
especially, I love your tomato ones.
the most recent, the one I'm holding there. Yeah. Yes. So the tomato one's a great light one. Let's talk about that one because it's here. So I recently did an experiment where I'll move it around for the people that can see. The people that can't see, I'm really sorry. But yeah, I set up a set of grow lights last year. Just using some cheap Amazon grow lights, just any online grow lights. And I was really worried about the tomatoes going laggy, so I bought these extra ones that you bolt on the front. But I didn't really know what I was doing. So this year I decided to actually run an experiment. So December, it was about the 15th, something like that. I sowed loads and loads of different tomato varieties. Oh my lord, I'm gonna make a mess here. So they're all colour coded. So you've got the cherry tomato, sun golds, tigerella, black cherry. We've got aroma, plum, red cherry, and a Costoluto Fiorentino, the beefsteak one. So I grew 6 of them on 8 different shelves. I did them at different distances from the lights, so you could measure how much light intensity the plants were getting, and determine if they went leggy or not. If they got enough light, they would obviously not grow excessively. And then the idea was, what you could do is you could measure the legginess, literally getting a pair of calipers and measuring the thickness of the stems, and then getting a ruler, getting the length. And then you could actually plot the legginess against intensity and find where it stops being leggy. And okay, tomatoes need that much light.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go, can you prove these grow lights are actually worth their money? Are they actually a con, or are they actually useful? And for seedlings that are less than a month old, for sure, anyway, maybe older than anymore. Actually, this one isn't too bad. This one's all right. This one's sort of been sitting there. But yeah, for seedlings, you can do fine if you're really, really close, like within 10 centimeters, something like that. And you can measure the intensity to make sure you've got the right levels and things. But yeah, I did a video on that very recently that's done quite well.
Yeah.
That's fun. So yeah, everyone went home for Christmas and saw their families, and I was sowing seeds and looking at these tomatoes and measuring things. And,
so Joe's just written on there, you can take the man at science, but you can't.
That's
what I know.
I love that geeky stuff.
That is
amazing.
That is wicked. So what were your findings then?
So, yes, so a couple of really cool things. So the first one is that, yeah, you've got to be really close to the light. I think it was about 10 centimeters for these cheap ones. But you can get a mobile phone app that measures the light intensity at a distance. There's about 5 DLI. There's a daily light integral, which in some unit like mole per meter square per day. I think there's a weird unit, so you can look it up. But you can measure it and make sure your plants, the leaves are within that distance, and then you know your plants aren't going to go leggy, which is great. But what's also really cool is that some tomatoes do better than others. So the cherry tomato, Sun Gold, were my best ones. So all light levels, they didn't really go leggy at all. While the Romas, I think these were the best ones. I haven't got them up yet, but they're reasonably tall. I wasn't too happy with them compared to the rest. But yeah, they all pretty much went leggy. So what I thought was kind of interesting is the cherry tomatoes in general just didn't go leggy. Like you could just grow them at a lower light level and they didn't have so much of a problem. I'm not sure if that's something to do with how they actually grow or their biology or what that is. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that cherry tomatoes do better. And they harvest first as well. So if you're growing them indoors and you want to get early harvest and you want to start them in December like I did, grow a cherry tomato. That's my conclusion. Or the Sun Gold, which is my favourite.
Love Sun Gold.
That's wicked. See, I put a post up this week saying about really excited. It's February. I can start sowing tomatoes. Everyone's like, no, including you, Jamie. No, you're not doing that. It's too early. It's too early. That's the proof.
Not you too.
It's not too early now. I'm on that.
It's all right if you got loads of grow lights and set up, but not for just normal, surely.
Yeah, I've got lights.
That would sit on the windowsill and go all leggy and bendy and be rubbish.
So middle of February, perfect time for tomatoes without lights, just on the windowsill. East.
Yeah, my grow lights out a lot.
Every
Thanks for
14th.
getting horny about grow
Go
lights.
for it. Yeah, but yeah, these ones are Christmas. I reckon I'll get some of them in the ground really early, and I reckon I'll get a super early harvest. I think my record is end of June, last day of June.
Nice.
I want to beat that because I hate buying tomatoes more than anything because they're so expensive and not that great.
And they don't taste like tomatoes.
You what, Mark?
And they don't taste like tomatoes.
No, they're horrible.
The
Water.
skin's the worst bit. Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll never buy a tomato unless... That was said just for Ben, and I just got the look.
And I can't even see you either. So Jamie done this whole massive rant how he's never going to have another tomato, he's never going to buy another tomato. And we stayed at a place one night, and then for breakfast, I watched him devour one.
Oh.
2. Because I had Teresa's.
That's right, yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
But they were there. They were there, so I ate them. But
And you didn't want to waste it, did you, mate?
I have not bought a tomato out of a supermarket, well, for over a year. I can't see the point. They're horrible. I just take watery.
They aren't the same, are they?
Do you preserve and do all that stuff as well, or do you? Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I've got loads of jars of I say sun dried, but they're dehydrated in olive oil. Love them. Absolutely love them.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And frozen. I've made loads of tomato sauce.
I was about to say you found one.
I've got some frozen crushed hearts I found in the freezer the other day. Full crushed hearts. I can't even remember putting them in there. But to be honest, my son, stepson, Teresa's son, hates tomatoes. Hates them. So he don't have tomato sauce on a pizza. He don't like spaghetti bolognese. Anything. I think it's a little bit psychological as well. You know, just the tomato thing. But I took a couple of weeks back. So I made just tomato sauce with garlic, just fried it down for ages and ages, and I froze it. And I made spaghetti bolognese with that 2 weeks ago, and he said, I've never tasted nothing like it. I said, they are. It's because it's proper good tomatoes. All it was, tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil, just sat there and simmered for ages and reduced right down. The best tasting stuff in the world, isn't it?
I'm addicted to tomatoes. I think that's not an unfair comment. I think they're spectacular.
I love them. Through the summer, when they're there, that's all I eat. I just take boxes of, lunch boxes to work with me at lunchtime and just eat tomatoes all the time.
But I can believe, a supermarket one that's that slimy or whatever on the inside. I can sort of, I guess, understand it. I was really shocked when you said I didn't like tomatoes. That broke my heart. Yeah. They are rubbish.
Yeah, awful thing.
Even the expensive ones, even the organic, £3 a box can be pretty. Some of them can be pretty awful.
variation in the varieties either. You can get literally like 3 different types of
Mhm.
tomatoes. When there's thousands of different varieties of tomatoes.
I grew 27 different varieties last year, and in the supermarket you can get 3.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
One big fat beefsteak that tastes nothing, a little salad one, and a little tiny red one.
You can get beefsteak tomatoes.
They don't taste of anything. They taste just as water.
Yeah.
They're obviously grown so rapidly, aren't they?
And picked before they're ripe, chemically ripened.
Yeah.
So
So they,
Yeah.
Tomatoes, they've not been ripened by the sun.
That makes sense. Not sweet. That makes sense.
Because by the time they get to us, they'll be just a squidgy mess if they picked them when they were ripe.
Yeah. Well, they
Vine ripened. Yeah, they're on the vine, but
Yeah. They were on the vine when they sprayed them with a chemical or whatever it needs to do.
and that's because they're 2 days in the pick, and it's like snip in a box, snip.
Yeah.
Used to working with tomatoes
Did you?
Really?
when I was 14. To go in and make the boxes that they go in, and then go and pick for you. It was really tedious. I had to get £1.25 for every 100 boxes I made.
Wow.
That's a lot
I
of
was
colour.
living the dream.
Yeah, you must have been loaded.
Mate, you have no idea how loaded I was, because my old man wouldn't let us spend it either. It was definitely an interesting job. So, next one up. Get the next one. That was good fun.
Yeah. What was your record in a minute? It's a very grim question, but how many could you do
I
in a
missed
minute?
that. So, how many boxes?
How many could you do in a minute? Yeah. It's a
I
bit
don't
boring
know.
question.
If I'd been doing it now, I'd do that. But back then, I was just like,
Can I go home yet?
Yeah.
I mean,
If you do it now, you'd make at least £3 an hour.
I don't.
I was thinking.
You say that when I was working for a wholesale fruit and veg supplier at one point, just part time, I was self-employed. They just wanted someone to come in and prep the veg. So I used to go in there, and because of my chef skills, I could prep the veg quicker than the machines, and they paid on price on how much you did. After a couple of weeks, they let me go because it was costing too much money.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was prepping more than they needed as a wholesale supplier, and I was costing them too much money. So they let me go.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, madness. Yeah, fun facts with random stuff I've done in the past.
Mark, what are you drinking?
It's medicine.
I spotted that. What is it? Is that whiskey?
Yeah.
Mark's on the hard stuff.
He's going to fall through the garden gate.
I've got to take George to the hospital tomorrow, so it's a late start for me.
So you get gassed up tonight.
Like an extra Friday night tonight.
I got a late start tomorrow, actually. I might go and have a little tipple when we finish. Not that I didn't bring nothing with me this week.
I'm influenced.
Alex, what made you keep doing the YouTube stuff then? Because that's quite a big thing for you, isn't it?
Yeah, and it takes a long time as well. I mean, the videos aren't the easiest. When I started out, I was just doing little vlogs that were handheld. Nothing against that at all, but when I did it, they weren't very interesting. They weren't very well put together. And then, I started doing some very intense editing, a lot of clever camera angles, a lot of, I will make sure I walk this way and build a story out of my movements, and then also build a story as I talk, and then a lot of work. So obviously I won that video. I won an award for Garden Video of the Year. I'll jump straight to it. But that video took 120 hours, maybe 125 hours, about 6-minute video, which isn't even, it's not that in depth. It's quite a surface level. Here's some ways of. It's called Can You Be Self-Sufficient While Working a Full-Time Job?
Yeah.
My answer was no, so I quit. But here are some ways of getting around working at a desk. I work from home at the time, and these are ways of trying to find more time to be in the garden or make the work less, because how you structure your garden, things like that. The clever shots and lots of story and lots of music and lots of not really effects. You know, if you're into YouTube at all, there's the Mr. Beast style where it's all flashy and there's text flying and I don't do any of that stuff. It's more about it's more about the vibe really. But yeah, it takes a long time to produce. But yeah, I sort of I don't know what it is. It's like a weird creative thing for me. I think that's what I was missing at my last job. It wasn't very creative. I was trying to procure desks and computer equipment instead of doing the job. There wasn't any creativity. So I think this YouTube is really like a way of actually doing something constructive and creative and things like that. But yeah, I got really into it and I spent all my money on camera equipment and lighting and a microphone that I got on and now I'm in a light and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you win an award and then suddenly you're like, oh, hang on, actually maybe I'm doing something okay here. Because that's kind of wild. Lots of professional videographers and stuff are nominated, and then there's a little old me YouTube channel 8 months in. That was a big moment.
So, were you nominated for that? Were you put forward, or did they come and find you?
So I nominated myself. So you can nominate yourself for awards. I really did the video when I made it. Like every sort of day I did a render of the video to watch it back. And you get goosebumps when you're watching it. Like, it doesn't happen very often. I'm like, this is really good. I really enjoyed that video. So yeah, I nominated it for myself, and then a committee judges them, and then they shortlist down to 5 or 6. I think it's 5. And then you had lots of here's how to use a garden tool by a company presented by a semi-famous person. And then here's a commissioned piece on an RHS Chelsea garden. It was a lovely video, gorgeous video, spectacular documentary almost. And here's a YouTuber saying silly stuff and having a catchphrase at the end and whatever silly other stuff I do. Wearing a dressing gown, picking tomatoes halfway through.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
There's everything wrong with that when you do it.
Nothing wrong.
I think there are 3 jokes where I'm sleeping in the video. It's like, that is the one joke I have. I get home from work and I fall asleep on the sofa. Or I don't want to water my plants. I want to be sleeping. It's a timer to do it for me. Just, one joke. And I get Shiva nominated. And I win, apparently.
That's awesome.
Which was, outrageous. Did I meet any of you there? I don't think I did. It was a very busy day for me. I didn't even go to GMG in there.
No.
Yeah, I did meet Anne-Marie Powell and Charles Dowding. Yeah, that was also kind of amazing because, Charles Dowding, I learned all the no dig from him as well. So it's kind of like to go from 2022 no dig really intensely, and then to 18 months later, sort of shaking his hand. That was quite exciting. That was quite a fun moment.
Everybody learnt no dig from Charles Dowding.
It's amazing.
Charles Dowding
trademark
learned no dig from Charles Dowding.
No, he learned it from Jeff Hamilton.
He did, yeah.
Oh, come off it. Let me have my moment for once. You're so perfect all the time.
I thought it was funny.
So
I like how Alex is on my wavelength.
So you met Anne-Marie Powell then?
Yeah, and I was such a newbie to gardening. I didn't recognise her that well. And then I went, hang on a second. Yeah, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. I was having conversations with people that I'd watched for like months and not even noticed, and then afterwards, oh my lord, it's you. And that's not your name. It's I knew you from this.
Yeah.
So the Instagram is the best one. It's like Dirty Garden Hoe I met, and I was like, oh my lord, it's you. I didn't know, and I was like, oh, I did know. I follow her, and I'm like, oh,
she's lovely.
to bring any other example. There's so many. She's been really nice. And it's been amazing meeting people as well, coming from nowhere and then winning this thing, and then suddenly you meet a load of people who you just wouldn't have met if you wouldn't have. Yeah, you'd never met them as a 500 sub YouTuber. I think I was at the time. You just wouldn't meet people like that. Lots of. I don't want to name drop too many people, but just the shock of going, oh my lord, I didn't recognise you because I didn't have you in the context. To so many people. Yeah, I recognised Charles Dowding because that was big. That was big. There was like 2 people in the world. If Monty Don was there, not to clang anyone, that would have been it. If I met them, that'd have been my dream team for the night. Like, Just because I remember being very ill and learning everything from them. That was like the foundation for me. So yeah, that was quite nice to get there. Yeah, and then you come home with a nice plaque as well. That was quite nice.
Nice. Proud moment. I got a bit of a story about meeting somebody and not knowing who they are. It was only a couple of weeks ago. It was in my local pub. Ben and Martin, you might have heard of him, but Sean from Direct Plants, he lives in the next village, and I was standing at the urinal, and he was at the urinal, and there's a bloke next to me at the urinal, and I went, "You all right?" And we just carried on. Then later on, he messaged me, he went, "Was that you at the urinals?" I went, "Yeah, I thought that was you, but I weren't."
I didn't notice you with your clothes off.
Something like that. But yeah, that's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Strange people.
It's a bit like meeting someone who's on the radio, right? The sort of like you don't know them out their face.
Oh,
I think it's the same sort of. Even with the TV, I think if they aren't somehow you're not expecting it, it just doesn't matter. Like you don't click it at all. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Joe's just said, "Who would you like to meet as a gardener?" I mean, you've met most of them now.
Nat's in. Nat's in, Ben.
Well, you best behave.
That's really tough. I think I don't know. I really just I don't know. I'm going to say Monty Don again, just because he is the guy for me.
Yeah. He's amazing.
Like his biggest fanboy. I'm not really, but I do have a couple of his books and I've read them, and I think has such a nice presence about him. It's such a nice presence. Yeah, that'd be an amazing moment. That'd be amazing.
It would do.
I also name on the spot, so that makes it much easier too.
I think I'm desperate to meet Anne-Marie Powell.
Isn't she going to some ball soon?
She's going to some ball soon. She is going to some ball, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to meet her at some ball. You know about the Garden Grand Ball, Alex?
I do.
You must have
famous. No, maybe not famously, but it will be famous. I really don't dance. I'm a bit. Should I go? That's why I'm at the moment.
You need to come. There'll be plenty of people not dancing, but plenty of people dancing really bad too, like me and Mark. You are
hiding in a corner.
You are dancing. I'm going to get you pissed and get you up there. Ben's not coming.
No, I'm not. No, I'm sorry.
I've got a really sad face on at the moment, Ben. You can't see it. Really sad.
I'm not that much of a person to miss, mate. You know what I mean? The party will go on without me.
You're part of a threesome. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
That one,
yeah, that's not the sort of thing you shout about, mate. Kim's like, Ben thinks he's not. Ben isn't, darling. I actually have plans. Here's my grandfather's birthday that day. See, there's another honest answer.
Oh.
It's March the 16th, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
It is. Well, Alex is going to be there. Alex is going to buy your ticket in a minute, aren't you, Alex? As soon as you get off here.
I can drive there now. It really does limit the excuses too, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I like excuses. I've got all of them. I'm not coming. Jelly dot. Yeah, me and Joe are going out on a little dinner date. See, Joe's not going either. I'll get the rumours going, Joe.
Yeah, go on, do it. Go and talk about leggy cornflowers.
I don't think you'll see any today. They're on this shelf. They're on this shelf.
What happened there? It just kicked us all out.
Well, I don't think that was me.
No.
But I did touch the phone when it happened.
Kicked everybody out. I don't know.
It's very ominous. I just wanted to read that comment and it's gone now, which is a bit unfortunate.
I've never known it just click and kick everybody out like that before. It's literally after an hour as well, because we started just after 1:30. So
They're really drinking their
like,
let's not speculate
yeah,
what they're doing.
being on time, get out.
They have lots of weird practices, don't they? These platforms, like you don't kind of expect. They don't advertise often. I wouldn't be surprised if it's either a bug or a feature that they list on.
Third episode we did way back in August year, we had massive technical issues, and it would only be 2 people on the live, whereas all the previous times it's let 4 people in. So it just absolutely threw us, and apparently it was the whole of Instagram was doing it. There was other people trying to do lives, and they just wouldn't let anybody in.
It's a lovely little software issue, that one. That's great. Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
literally all night. To be fair, for me, it's been a bit. People kept freezing and audio kept. I don't know what it's been, what it was like for everyone else.
Mine wasn't too bad. The app itself's been a bit jittery the last couple of days, but that's my phone. I've done some weird stuff to it, so
I think they've updated it quite a bit recently as well, haven't they? Instagram.
I could believe so. I'm so bad at Instagram. I used to be so much more on it, and now I spend so much time on the other place that
On YouTube.
I see this stuff sort of go by. But YouTube has weird stuff as well. Like it gets to all the data gets processed at 8 a.m. Then the numbers come through at 10, and then at 10 your video will go up or down depending on how much they like stuff. So you get to artificial times where your video just turns off or turns on. I had a weird one where it got picked up by Google and then that turned off YouTube, and weird stuff happens like that. Weird behaviours on all these platforms. So
They're called gremlins.
part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's why I'm trying to do a blog as well, and also I do want to do more on Instagram really, because it's nice to have multiple platforms. I'm glad you're doing the podcast in more places too.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, because it's such a long form. Like Instagram, unless people are watching it live, I don't think many people are going to go back and listen to like an hour's worth of just chatting. So we said eventually we'd turn it all into a podcast, because it's just so much easier for people to consume. And doing what I do, I'm a full-time gardener, so I constantly have podcasts going in my ear.
Exactly.
And
I don't really want to have a screen on either. Like, it's just really awkward. Like turning up and cuts sound on Instagram. Is that right? I can't quite remember. So it's nice to be able to have a background play and stuff. It's just
Do you actually post any of your videos to Instagram, or is it literally all just on YouTube?
That's a great question. I sometimes do little reels that are like tie-ins, I guess is what you'd call it if it was a book. I did film one that was sort of like it was my promo really for that. I did do a time lapse that was of the tomatoes growing over 3 weeks. So that went up on Instagram. But the issue is, it's not really the platform for 5 minute, 6, 7, 8 minute videos is the main issue for Instagram. I haven't really got an Instagram strategy, sorry, either. So maybe I should. But,
We just make it long.
Well, this is the thing, right? That's probably the best way. And on YouTube, I'm quite polished. I've got a lot of work into getting the right words out and getting them spoken properly. And if I too much, I'll cut, start again, go back. But I think what I'll do for Instagram is just do more very quick to camera. If I get it wrong, I get it a little bit wrong. That's probably a nicer way of being, to be honest. It kills me doing the editing and getting it perfect. You're the director, the cameraman, the sound engineer, the editor, the writer, all in one, while trying to be natural. So throwing away all of that, I think, and doing it more raw on Instagram is a nice way.
Yeah. You'd have to sort of re-edit it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm Alex Grows Food on YouTube. On Instagram, annoyingly, I've got the dots. Someone else has the other handle. But on YouTube, I'm just normal Alex Space Grows Food. One day I'll get the one without dots on Instagram, but not today.
Is there a way of? I guess there isn't a way of posting on both, so you wouldn't have to. That's the issue. I mean, the good thing with a podcast is actually you only post it in one place, and then it shares it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas with social media and YouTube, you'd actually physically have to post it and mess
Yeah.
around and do all.
There are also some other weird things. So like if you shut a TikTok, is it? Then that allegedly lowers your impressions and views anyway. So you need to leave the app open. You can't just go somewhere else.
Oh, really?
You have to be there to comment physically. They try and apparently people say they enforce that. And also the videos need to be slightly different anyway. The style is different on each platform, so much more so. And yeah, an audio piece. So it wouldn't do as well on a different platform. And Instagram Reel won't do as well on TikTok.
No.
And TikTok won't do as well on YouTube Shorts, and the YouTube Short won't do well on YouTube Longs. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's really, really odd.
It is nice to hear Mark talk more. Yeah, Mark, I don't hear you very often on these things.
It's weird. We were talking the other day about the fact that for some reason when the other two are on, my volume seems to drop. And I don't know whether there's a way of, because it's on a mobile, unless it was on a laptop or something like that, I don't think there's actually a way of improving that.
It sounds like it's cutting in too late, like it misses the first word and doesn't realise. And then it goes, oh, hang on, I need to send your voice over. That's what it sounds like. It's really odd. Yeah, I don't know if it's are you far from the microphone? I don't know. Maybe it's that, or
These little ones.
I don't know. That would solve the issue for me. Yeah, I don't know. Me too.
Jamie and we just kicked them, started again, and they've disappeared and not come back. So I don't know what's quite going on there, which is really odd.
Took the personally.
Well, they definitely will take it personally. So when you're editing your videos, what do you actually use to edit them? Is there a program that you use? Is
Yeah,
it
so
your day job as a software engineer?
No. It's entirely different. Yeah, no. But Kden, so I use Kden Live, which is kind of interesting because it's a free. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what you'd actually call it. It's KDE, which is I don't know, is that Linux software term. The idea is it's not open source as such, but it's a free software and it's developed. But it's not. Yeah, you're not paying hundreds of pounds a month like you would a premium. It's really nice. So you can make all these videos. Oh, welcome back. You can make them on a free piece of software. You don't need to spend loads of money, which I think is really cool. Like a lot of people would spend. Adobe is the big one, and Final is the other one. They're really expensive, but you can just pay a penny.
Hello.
Hello again. It cut out, Mark. Sorry, just want to say
that I cut for a lot of the editing that I do on any videos.
That makes sense. Are you on a phone? I guess is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Where's Ben?
I don't know. I did invite him.
What happened, Mark?
It just kicked us out. I was saying to Alex, it was
That
literally
was exactly one hour.
Yeah, really.
Exactly 1 hour.
Never done that before, has it?
No, they hadn't put a block on us for an hour, have they?
Wanted rid of you.
Mark was being so rude.
See me, Ben.
He kicked you
I
out.
can see you all now. Isn't that funny? Now I've come in the house and I'm warm.
Yeah.
And I'd given up. I thought, that's it. Mark's booted me out because I showed him my dodgy cornflowers.
Cut out just as they came in, so we didn't even get to see them. Sorry.
Didn't even see them in all their glory. Joe will be gutted.
Maybe it's that one, isn't it? Maybe that's what kicked us off.
That's it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to see your cornflowers.
What were you two talking about while we were
No.
off?
Most of all.
Sounded like video editing to me.
Yeah, we're talking about the gremlins of platforms, and then I use Kden Live as my video editor because it's free. So instead of paying for an expensive subscription, like a lot of people do.
I use Instagram.
Oh, I don't.
Because that's
I couldn't get on with that. My thumbs aren't smooth enough. I let go and then suddenly it's gone. I just can't put a clip together. It's always awful.
What about flowers, Alex? You do flowers and plants?
What's the flower?
Come on.
I French marigolds. I really like marigolds. They're really nice. What else is there? Nasturtiums are nice. You can eat them. They're good.
Nasturtiums are lovely.
Really good for the chickens too. Really good for their health. Like gives them healthy
I
guts.
didn't know that. Interesting. They like the
Yeah,
leaves.
look at that. Yeah,
Okay.
they're really, really good for chickens.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not so into. I did try a little bit more on flowers last year, but they all died in their pots. Didn't really get around to them. Poached eggplants were fun. They were cute.
I'm gonna have to shoot, guys.
All right, Ben.
Oh,
All right.
good luck, Ben.
Alex, it's lovely to meet you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go. All right.
That's all right. Welcome
Thanks,
Bye.
back. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Flowers. I don't really know much about them, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure where to start. Really, I think that's the biggest thing. Like veg growing, sort of was quite easy to get into because there's so many. I was watching homesteaders on American YouTube channels and stuff. That was a really good entry point. But yeah, flowers is like another tier to get past. I've not quite figured it out yet.
Dahlias. Stick a dahlia and you'll get
But
flowers.
it does have a benefit to your plot and your food production if you have more flowers. So
Yes,
it does.
That's
So
why I have 2 or 3 flower beds in my new allotment.
So I do lots of interplanting, but they're all marigolds and nasturtiums, and it's not mono, but it's pretty monoculture of plants, flowers. Not great.
Joe's just said East Anglia posse. Is it all just us from around here now?
Where are you guys?
I'm in Norfolk,
And I'm in Lincolnshire.
not far from you. I'm only about probably 50 miles from Cambridge.
You really? Kings Lynn?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So that was my goal in lockdown, to cycle to Kings Lynn. That was my weird target to get healthy. I was like, I can go 50 miles. That's seaside, pretty much.
Did you do it?
No, I could be. Well, no, I got heckled on Twitter by the Kings Lynn newspaper, being like, "No, it's lockdown. You can't cycle to Kings Lynn." I'm like, I'm only training. Leave me alone. So
I've only gone out once today. I've stayed out for 7 hours, but I've only gone out once. I could say my goal in lockdown was to run to Edinburgh, but no, I didn't do it.
I did 50 miles, but I didn't do Kings Lynn. So
Oh, well done.
Kings Lynn is,
Well done.
yeah, they've shunned me, so I'm done.
Mm. Yeah.
Fixed gardening. It's safer.
It really is. Oh, there's so many near misses on a bike. So, yeah, I remember them, every single one, and I'm like, oh, it's awful. Had things thrown at me and all sorts. It's really bad. It's really quite an awful way of travelling.
Do you wear a camera?
So, sometimes I did actually at one point, because I had a weird premonition that something was going to happen. It's a weird thing to say. I sort of had a feeling it was going to happen, and then yeah, I got a bottle thrown at me, and it was all on camera.
You what?
Just a Yazoo, a milkshake, but yeah, just out of a car window. Someone was oncoming, and yeah, threw a bottle at me.
Oh my god.
Which is weird for it though. They really don't like cyclists. Like, they've had enough. I think that is the vibe around here. It's yeah, there's not everyone, but like there's a section that are like, no, I've waited long enough. They're so bad. Some of them do dart around and stuff, and they just, yeah, the respect has sort of died. I think it's only really a Cambridge issue. I don't really find any issues cycling anywhere else. It really is just a Cambridge. It's really
That's 'cause
weird.
there's millions of them.
I think, yeah, I think the cars are just like, I can't keep doing it. I think that's the attitude.
And scooters now as well.
Oh, they're fun and expensive, yeah. So when I go to London, I cycle to the university, then get a scooter, and then go to the train station. You can't park at the train station, your bike will get nicked. So yeah, I get a scooter to there. And then I get a bike through town, London. It's good. Multimodal transport. Like 4 or 5 modes to get anywhere. Takes forever. It's great.
What other veg do you grow except from tomatoes, Joseph?
Everything. Pretty much everything. Peppers in a big way as well. Chili peppers, tons of them, sweet peppers. Last year I did lots of sweet corn, lots of old multicolour sweet corn, that was fun. Chard, my chickens love chard. They're pretty addicted to the stuff. I don't like the leaves, but they don't like the stems. So it works pretty well. I just tear them off and they go crazy for them. Peas, beans, runner beans, you know the stuff. Not good at. Haven't ever done potatoes. I couldn't eat carbs last year, so I really struggled wanting to grow them. But onions are great. Garlic, I'm still picking garlic out of my little tote bag in the cupboard. I think that's one of the best things I've ever grown, just because it's just there.
Garlic's amazing, isn't it? Love growing garlic.
Once you've cracked growing it, it's so easy to just store, and it just lasts.
Amazing, isn't it?
Obviously,
Yeah.
Year again, unless allium leaf miner or white rock, anything like that. I've got both of those, but I'm persevering.
Can't remember what happened to mine last year. I think they all went rusty. I used a supermarket garlic, which was a bad idea.
Yeah.
And they all went rusty. So yeah. What's what happens this year? What happened? I think I couldn't buy any more or something, and I wanted to plant them. I got quite desperate, and yeah, didn't work out. But they're still healthy to eat. At least they still taste fine.
Oh yeah. Even with a bit of rust on it, don't matter, does it? It doesn't hurt you. No.
And what else? Carrots are fun. Little transnay carrots in containers. They're quite great. I don't like digging just because I'm lazy more than anything else. So if it doesn't form on the surface or in a box, or I don't really get involved. So I've never done parsnips. Never done long carrots that go deep. Yeah. I don't really grow brassicas either.
No.
I don't really like them.
Oh.
They're a lot of work.
I love kale.
Cauliflower.
Kale's amazing.
Kale's the only thing I grow brassica.
Kale's lovely. Cavallonero. Oh god.
Okay, Cavallonero. I did grow Cavallonero, but that stem through the middle just gets caught in my teeth.
I love that bit.
I
love it. That bit in the middle.
I definitely stabbed the inside of my mouth with it once. I went, oh god, what am I doing? I'm trying to be healthy and I'm bleeding. It's awful. Salad's literally killing me. Like, yeah, it was. Maybe I should boil it or something.
Oh god.
No.
I just pan fry mine quickly in a bit of garlic and that's it.
Rock hard.
Love it.
Curly kale. Yeah,
Curly cow's nice. It's just I chuck that in the oven, a bit of olive oil and some salt. Oh, lovely and crispy. Like crisps.
So, yeah, okay. I've started eating real crisps again, which is kind of bad. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I want to grow this year more than anything else. I think I'm going to try Cape Gooseberry. Physalis, is that? I mean, that'd be quite exciting. All those sorts of weird stuff like that would be quite interesting. Citrus would be great if I had any kind of glass. That'd be nice. But yeah, I've only got a little plastic greenhouse. It doesn't really keep in any heat. So
how big is it?
The greenhouse.
Yeah.
It's probably this room, this little bit you can see. What's that?
Normally about
3 meters by 4 meters, 4 meters by 2 meters, maybe.
Like a zippy thing.
Yeah, it's kind of it's reasonably big, but you can walk in it.
It's quite big.
I mean, I go quite back. There's quite a long way back here. It's quite it's like that. But yeah, so it's good, but it just doesn't keep in the heat. So, and it also really blocks out a lot of light. It's a really odd thing. So yeah, you kind of leg your plants in there. They're really quite spindly. That anything does really, and it gets stupidly hot in the summer, and you can't ventilate it.
Yeah,
because only got one hole. So I like it. I love it, but I've got 2 of them. But can't do much with it. So yeah, I can't do any citrus really. I could do it indoors on the windows. I haven't got any windowsills. Got one windowsill.
Yeah,
It's west facing. Yeah, I got this lovely wall, a lovely south facing wall. I mean, it's a gorgeous wall, but can't do anything with it. I don't know why they've done that. It's quite an old house. It's 18 something, 1830. It's not that old.
Yeah.
But enough. Old enough to know South's good, surely.
Oh, you would have thought so. You would have thought so.
There is logic behind thinking about the house as well as the garden.
Well, yeah. I did have to say house attached to the garden. It really was a. There aren't many houses with gardens, you know, for less than 1,300 a month. I think was what I was putting on my thing at the time. In the middle of winter, turns out they don't advertise that many. This was $12.50 a month, I think. So yeah, my gap really hurting.
Yeah, I
Because
bet.
I'm really going down.
Mm.
So yeah, I might move soon, which also is quite awkward. Because do I grow or do I leave it? That's the big question right now.
Ooh.
Do I return it to lawn so the landlord doesn't like fine me, or do I just take the fine? The other one, because if you kick me out right now, it'd just be barren. It'd be you would not be happy. So
I bet.
we'll see. We'll see.
Right, gentlemen, it's 9 o'clock. I need to shoot.
Thanks for your
Lovely
time, Alex.
lovely to meet you, Alex. Thanks for the chat.
So yeah, thanks for having me on, and yeah, maybe I'll see you in Nottingham. Maybe
You
we'll
will.
see.
Come on, get a ticket and come meet us. Come and see us.
Potentially, we'll see. No promises. I might do it. I probably will do
Yeah.
it, but no promises.
Do it. Come on. We're all nice there, you know that. We'll all get on really well.
Yeah, we'll see how it is.
See you
All right,
later.
good to see you guys. Have a good evening,
Shut 'em
chat.
up.
Bye, viewers.